Um, you know, one more question I had is that what do people do if a spouse goes into the nursing home? What are some issues involved with that? And then the other spouse is left at home. How does that work exactly?
Well, we talked a little bit about the government programs that are out there, Medicaid and VA benefits, and the rules are quite a bit more expansive if a spouse is going in to the nursing home. Remember, we talked about Medicaid. Essentially, you can't have more than $1,500.
Right.
But that is very different if there's a spouse in the community. The spouse in the community essentially is going to be allowed to keep up to half of the assets, but that half cannot exceed essentially $104,000. Again, that number continues to change. It goes up slightly every year or so. And in addition to that, there are certain major exemptions. The house is the biggest, and one car, and a prepaid burial. Most people know about a couple of those, but you have to know how you can spend down then. Let's say if you had $200,000, well, you're allowed to keep $100,000. But if you had $300,000, your half would be $150,000, but you're still restricted to the $104,000. So again, you have to know those things going in. There's special rules under the Deficit Reduction Act for dealing with IRAs that can be annuitized. So if you have a spouse in the community, you might have some special circumstance where part of how you spend the money may be just to increase the income of the spouse in the community. And these are just examples of little nuances and planning issues that come up, especially in a spousal case. And that's the predominant client that we see is if you have someone going in, Medicaid is going to do a snapshot, which is based on the first date of the hospitalization and nursing home stay when that exceeds 30 days. And they're going to look at that in time. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated. And if you don't get good, sound advice, you realistically could end up spending more than